What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip that initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and longer timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell, as it all really helps out our channel. Now, yesterday we did have some new members join us as well. We had Tiana over on Patreon, Beth over on Patreon. We also had a couple of YouTube members as well. And we'll start with Lay MSP joining us, and we also had D's Vids with the rejoin as well. Thank you so much for your love, support, and just spending 20 minutes of your day with the channel. Thank you so much, and let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. And our first story comes from Rasta Sheet. Would I be the arsehole for possibly kicking out a family from a home that was illegally sold to them? My father passed away a few years ago, and my adopted mum, who is old and has dementia, relatives sold my father's and my mum's house for half the value with everything inside in a rush sale. I did not know the law at the time and was told by my mum's relatives that my father had no will, so everything automatically went to my mum and her family. I came across an article that in that country, that when a person dies without a will, their heirs/children automatically inherit the estate. The estate cannot be sold without all heirs agreeing. If it is sold, the sale will be void. I've contacted a lawyer and it was true. I can get the house back by simply showing my birth certificate. Also, because my mum has dementia, she is not capable of doing a sale. The lawyer went to meet with my mum on behalf to ask a few questions about the sale of the house. Her relatives heard everything, then started attacking me online and making a nasty post about me, how I was going to kick a family out of a house because of pure greed, that I already have a house in the USA. I'm greedy to have another house. They threatened that they would get the new owners to sue me, etc. My mum's relatives don't work and use the money of the sale of the house for their own benefit. So not only will they have to return all the money, the new owners of the house will now have to look for somewhere else to live, which they can no longer afford a house because the house was sold for half of the market value, and that is what they will be getting back. Would I be the arsehole for possibly kicking them out? The way I see this situation is that, OP has been screwed over as well. They've lost something that was rightfully theirs. They had it stolen from them through fraud or whatever was used in the situation. And I do question the buyers as well. I know OP's concerned about the buyers and, kicking them out of their home. But receiving a house for half its market value would raise some red flags to me. I'm not saying that, that family is sketchy or whatever, but I would be concerned, and I don't think I'd worry too much about it. I think if they wanted to sue, they could sue the people that sold the house initially anyway, because this is all on them, right? I might be totally wrong in my way of thinking here, but that's just what's going through my head at this moment. But also I would look into a way that you can support your mother, because clearly she's being taken advantage of in some other ways because of her dementia at the moment. But yes, let's check out some comments to see what they say. And we'll go with Don't Trust It saying, "Not the arsehole, you're a victim here too. Your mum's family not only lied to you, but they sold and profited from something that was rightfully yours. All you are doing is undoing something that should never have been done in the first place. It's unfortunate this family will lose their home, but this is not your fault." To which Spring Cherry says, "Not the arsehole. If it was me, I would proceed to claim back that house and at the same time, together with that family, sue the relatives for fraud. They have to pay back the family the money and also compensation." And Up the Creek with No Canoe says, "If someone stole a wedding ring, then it was sold and turned up on someone else's finger, should it not be returned to the original person? Not the arsehole. Stolen goods are always returned to the rightful owner." Edit to add, "Help the family sue your relatives. They stole from your mother as well, and you should make sure they pay for that." And one more from Smiley Canadian, because there's a good bit of advice, I think, which says, "Not the arsehole. 1. Make sure your mum is safe. 2. Stop talking to the relatives. 3. Do not meet up with relatives. They may try to harm you. 4. Record and screenshot all harassment. No abuse. Get a restraining order and get them charged with harassment. 5. Get your house back. The family who bought it knew it was illegal. Losing their home and money was a risk they were willing to take. 6. Do not rent to the buyer. They were willing to help commit a crime last time. They'd do it again. 7. Freeze your mum's credit and take money out of her account so relatives can't steal from her or take loans out in her name." Now, let's move on to the next story. And our next story is from the Ars Magna. "Am I the arsehole for leaving my friend's girlfriend stranded in another city? Last week I got a call from a friend asking me to drive her girlfriend into a major city in my country. He asked me because he knows I enjoy driving and I don't get nervous in packed traffic, plus the girlfriend barely drives and hates going into the city as there are lots of restricted streets and such. I told my friend my plan was reading a book that weekend, so he insisted a bit further, saying I was doing him a huge favour since he was out for the weekend, and that girlfriend would put her car so I didn't have to put unnecessary kilometres on mine. After telling him I was just doing it because he asked and I had nothing to do inside the city, I finally agreed. Cue Saturday, I go pick girlfriend early in the morning. We grab her car and I see it has only half a tank of gas, enough to get us there but not for a round trip. She acknowledges it and tells me we'll fill it up in the city. Whatever. During the 3-hour trip, she kept complaining I was going too slow and that she was going to miss an important appointment. I was going the speed limit the whole time. Once we got to the city, we parked in a prepay and asked me to pay since she didn't bring any cash. Whatever. I wanted to go to a park and read while she was busy, but I had to run errands with her because she didn't feel safe in the city centre on a sunny day. Again, whatever. She even got mad because I asked her to make a quick trip to the car to leave some bags because I didn't want to carry them, and told me her boyfriend always carried some of the bags and it was faster. I started to get annoyed here and told her so. When she got done with all she had to do, she went back to the car. Before I got in, she mentioned I still hadn't given her the money. When I asked her what she meant, she said I had to pay for half the tank as I had gone with her. I got mad and said I was doing my friend a favour and I wasted my day just for her to buy random shit I wasn't paying. She said something like, either pay or you don't get into the car. I stormed off, tired and angry, while she shouted something like, yeah, you'll come back. I didn't, got a train ticket and spent some 4.5 hours to get back home while my phone was burning with calls and messages. I turned it off. Got home and the next day friend called asking what happened. Apparently some poor soul had to go pick her up because she wasn't driving home. I told him and he said that girlfriend can be difficult at times, but I pulled a massive arsehole move, leaving her alone at sundown. So am I the arsehole? In this story, from the title at first I thought, ooh, this could be a tricky one. And as it was going on I thought, oh no, he's going to leave her in the city, take her car and go kind of thing. But that wasn't the case in this situation, and you're definitely not the arsehole. I mean, she turned around to you and said, you're not getting in the car unless you pay for half the gas. And he was like, okay, I get a train ticket home. That was on her. She's the one who's been an absolute arsehole, and so is the boyfriend in this situation as well for backing up that kind of behaviour. But let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. We'll start with Candy2228 saying, not the arsehole, you didn't leave her stranded, she had her car. She doesn't get to treat you like you're her personal assistant, and you were doing her a favour and she was ungrateful from the start. The boyfriend always does it comment was ridiculous. I'm sorry you wasted your day with this spoiled person, but congratulations on most likely being the first person in her life not to submit to her demands. Imagine being with her, man. Pushkin Mage says, she said you can't get into her car if you don't pay. You did as she said. How can she complain? Not the arsehole. And someone responded to that with r/malicious compliance. Absolutely. And Neve says, they are both huge arseholes. Not the arsehole. They owe you a big apology. And Hey Demons, it's me says, her. If you're not paying, you're not getting in the car. You say, okay, I'm not getting in the car. See you later. Her. With a surprise Pikachu face. Let's be very clear on this. You absolutely did not leave her stranded. You left her with her own car. Not to mention, where's half the money from her for parking if that's how she wants to play? You don't get to charge someone for gas who's driving you around as a favour. She sounds like a spoiled brat in nearly every line of this post. Not the arsehole. And now, let's move on to the next story. And this next story comes from I Just Want Pizza. Don't we all? Am I the arsehole for asking for my free birthday meal on a different day? There is a really great pizza place in my town that has a birthday club when you sign up and you get a free pizza on your birthday. So naturally I signed up. This pizza place is not a chain, nor a franchise. It is owned and operated solely by a local couple. They're more expensive than Domino's or Papa John's, but they're also so much better. On their website they have their hours listed, and nowhere on their website do they ever say that they are closed on a certain day of the week. Recently my job cut everyone's hours, so money is tight. My birthday was Wednesday and normally we'd go out and celebrate, but because of money we couldn't. My wife suggested using my birthday coupon and we could still enjoy the night, but when we went to the store to order, they were closed. So we had sandwiches and we just used the coupon on Thursday. Last night I ordered a pizza, and when I went to use the coupon they told me I couldn't use it because the coupon had to be claimed on the actual birthday. There's nothing on the website that says this. I told her I understood, but they were closed on my actual birthday, so it was impossible for me to do so. The wife was working the register, and frankly, her attitude was very unfriendly, and she seemed to be blaming me for having my birthday fall on a day they were closed. She even went so far to say, "It's not our fault your birthday was on a Wednesday. Rules are rules." I got frustrated and asked her how the hell I was supposed to know that A, that coupons could only be claimed on the actual birthday if there's nothing on the website that says so, and B, how was I supposed to know that they were closed when their website listed them as open and we had to drive to the store to learn this. She called her husband out the kitchen and frankly, he was incredibly threatening, getting in my face and getting in my wife's face, yelling. Of course we left and wrote a review on Yelp, which they responded to with a very profane message. So they didn't indicate anywhere that the coupon couldn't be claimed on any day but your actual birthday. They didn't indicate they were closed anywhere, so I didn't even know that they were closed until arriving at the restaurant. I do concede that in the course of the conversation escalating, I used profanity and raised my voice, but I never actually yelled or made threats. The owner and her husband did both. Was I the arsehole for asking to claim my free pizza? Edit. Clarification on the coupon. On their website is a link to click to sign up for a birthday coupon. Basically, you enter your name, phone number, and email address, and you get emailed a coupon with a barcode on your birthday through what I guess is an automated system. Now, I think it's very easy to come into this one and saying you're the arsehole because you tried claiming a pizza when it wasn't your birthday with a birthday coupon. So you would be the arsehole for that. The company isn't to blame for that, but at the same time, if the owners were giving you this poor attitude and getting in your face about it as well, that would make them the arseholes. And sure, they could have bent the rules for you this one time if they were genuinely closed or whatever, but you could have called ahead as well. So I'm not going to blame them totally for that. As I said, it's not their fault that it was your birthday when they were closed. So I'm not going to totally blame them for that. But I will say, having a system like that is just asking for it to be abused, isn't it? Just setting up an email address and some other random phone number and then getting yourself a free pizza on another day. Surely they're going to recognize your face if you do it too much. But I know Domino's was doing a similar thing at one point as well. And it's basically just to harvest all your information so they can send you more promotional stuff down the road. So it does benefit them in some way. But yeah, I'm going to go with an everyone sucks here on this one to me anyway. But we'll check out some comments which says, Singing Stream says, yes, you are an arsehole. It's common knowledge that if there's something free given to you on your birthday, it's only on your birthday that you can claim it, unless specifically stated otherwise. I mean, can you imagine how many people would run around to different places claiming free stuff here, there and everywhere if they could claim on a day other than their birthday? Instead of accepting her no with a good grace and manners, you kept on and on until she felt unsafe enough to call her husband for assistance. You're the arsehole. Yeah, and that comment did make me think, how aggressive was Opie when he first went to the counter and, you know, he was being denied this pizza? Was he really aggressive up front and that's why the husband had to be called around? Or was they both aggressive to each other straight away? You know, I don't know. So my everyone sucks here could be a you're the arsehole. I'm not totally sure. And the Simple Pencil says, you're the arsehole, let me get this straight. The pizza place has coupons for free pizza on birthdays through a birthday club. It was not your birthday, so the birthday coupon expired. Unlucky that they were closed, but the birthday pizza is literally a freebie that you aren't entitled for. However, instead of accepting that you couldn't use the coupon, you then nagged the couple at the restaurant to the point where the wife had to summon her husband to get the two of you to leave, since the couple wouldn't give you a free pizza. Since the couple didn't give you a free pizza, you resort to Yelp and give a bad review to a family business, which you admitted earlier was quality pizza that's better than pizza chains that they didn't deserve. Being tight on money doesn't justify you to treat others this way. Shame on you. Knife French says not the arsehole because they were closed. I thought it was going to be a convenience thing which would have made you the arsehole, but that's just bad policy on their part. A restaurant near me does a birthday promo but closes on some holidays, so they specify that those birthdays are honoured the next day. An anonymous geezer says, you're the arsehole. Not sure what you mean by coupons, but either way, if they allow people to just use it whenever, it's extremely easy to falsify them. And if the choice was up to me, I'd rather not allow anyone to use it on a different date than risk people falsifying them. And one more from Blueberry saying, everyone sucks here. Money is probably really tight for them too right now, hence the poor attitude. It seems like common sense that if they were closed on your actual birthday, you could use it on another day, but from their perspective, they're probably thinking if we bend the rules here, we'll end up bending them everywhere. You should have dropped it after the owner said no. She should have not responded so rudely. No one should have been using profanity or appear threatening. And really, Yelp? I mean, small businesses are barely making it, and so many have already gone under. You had to give it a nasty review on Yelp. You're slightly more arsehole for that. Wow, so there's a whole mix of different comments here as well, so I will be very interested to know your thoughts on this one. And let's move on to the next story. And our next story comes from Mum of Widower. Am I the arsehole for saying my son should date around more? My son, 32, is a widower. His wife passed away 6 years ago. He was absolutely devastated, as one would be. He knew Hayley almost his entire life. They were married for 8 years. He did not date anyone else as a teen, and they got married 3 months after he turned 18. He always said he just knew Hayley was his person. He has not dated anyone else up until very recently, when he started pursuing a friend of his romantically. I was happy for him, honestly. It's been a long time encouraging him to get back out there. His boyfriend is nice. I don't know him that well, but we've bumped into each other in the mornings with more and more frequency. Which, to be honest, I don't mind because my son smiles a whole lot more. Until this morning, when Meryl casually brings up that his boyfriend may move in soon. We've been living together a couple of years. That's when the potentially arsehole-ish comment came. Meryl has dated exactly 2 people in his whole life. He had Hayley, and then he had grief, and now he's looking at moving the second person who ever took him to dinner into his home. He said his judgment was right last time, and I more or less said yes, his judgment was right with Hayley, but that's not a common experience. What are the chances of it working out twice? The conversation ended there. He is clearly upset with me. I don't mean it as anything against him or his boyfriend. I just have experienced firsthand how things look so hopeful at the beginning, but quickly sour. He's been hurt enough, and I want him to know what he wants in a person before he goes giving someone his all again. I'm sure I sound like a rambling idiot by now, but I do want to add, I feel like I'm the only potential arsehole here. Meryl is not in the running in my opinion, as much as I don't entirely agree with him. You know, I can come into this one from several ways, but this one's son is 32, son is an adult, they're able to make their own choices in life, and I ain't going to totally bash on mum for this one because I think mum is coming from a kind-hearted place. They do care. They're not like the mums we usually see in these stories that are overbearing and trying to control their life and all that sort of thing. I think this genuinely comes from a place of love on behalf of mum in this situation. And I'm not making excuses because I think mum is still in the wrong. I think they still are very slightly the arsehole to me. And I hate to say it because when someone shows love like that, it's really hard, especially when you read so many of these stories and they come out as a negative, when someone's showing genuine love to someone else, but it still makes them the arsehole, I'm afraid. I think you should be happy in the situation that, you know, your son is moving past in the best way possible. They're dealing with their grief in a positive way and they're trying to make positive steps in their life. Sure, it may not be the right one and it may not work out, but who knows? It may as well. And I think you need to let son take those chances in the situation to hopefully improve his life for the better. At least he's not in a bad place anymore with his grief. So, as they always say, a slight, you're the arsehole. But Tell Me It Hurts says, soft, you're the arsehole, you should be happy for your son. He's finding a way past his grief. Be happy he's not in that dark place anymore. Absolutely. And Evasive Friend says, you're the arsehole because you need to stay out of your son's dating life. It sounds like you're only concerned because you live with your son. Juniper says, you're the arsehole, you're basically saying even though he finally managed to find someone he can love, he should date around and lose the happiness he just found just to see what it's like to be with others. You should trust your son more. If his boyfriend was a bad person, I'd understand that you'd try to get him with others. But as long as you don't have any real concerns about him, it was a terrible thing to say. You should be happy for them and glad that your son can love again. And Marscat says, you're the arsehole, I'm sorry, it's quite common to move in with a romantic partner nowadays. It's taken him 6 years already to move on. You should only be encouraging him. Worst comes to worst, if you live together, you'll soon be able to see if things aren't going well or the relationship is unstable and you can help your son. If you lose his trust now, you will be unable to do that. And Thrill Doctor says, yes, you're the arsehole. He is an adult, he is capable of deciding. Be his roommate, not his parent. Unless asked directly for your input, keep your opinions to yourself. And we have one more from one Mike Nation saying, you're the arsehole. I was just typing not the arsehole until I noticed your title again. I originally thought you were telling him not to move the new boyfriend in, which would be reasonable advice, but instead you're questioning if this person is right for him, which pushes you into the arsehole situation. And that is a very good point from Mike there as well. And I kind of glossed over that fact when after I read the story as well. The question itself does make it a bit more of an arsehole situation, because if he is happy right now, he shouldn't have to date around more, should he? So it is a very, very tricky one. So yeah, I will stick, well, I'm going to be sticking with you are the arsehole in this situation. Although I still think Mum is coming from a very loving place as well. Anyway, what do you guys make of today's selection of stories? Did you enjoy them? What are your verdicts on the stories? Please share them if you choose to do so, but as always, never any pressure either. Just you being involved absolutely makes the channel 10 times better, and I love reading your comments. If you haven't as yet, it'd be really helpful if you could click that like button below if you did enjoy, and just a huge thank you for spending 20 minutes or so with me, with the channel, and getting involved. If you want to support the channel further, you absolutely can, but never any pressure to do so by clicking that join button down below for YouTube, or clicking the link in the description for Patreon and joining up there. Thank you so much for your love, support, and time, and I will see you spicy so-and-so, in the next one. Take care, and much love.